Alright, hello and welcome. So, we are going to talk about Mesa again, for a few different reasons, mostly because people keep asking me what I'm building her exalted weapons for now that they are separately moddable. They haven't changed much, for those that are wondering that specifically. However, I have changed my main Mesa build since the last time I did a video on her, so it was worth going over just in general. So, first of all, the main build. So I've put 6 Forma into this, however, this build does not actually require 6 Forma. This is a 5 Forma build. The reason I had to put in the extra Forma is because before Mesa's Waltz came out, I had Forma'd this Exila slot, which is where you want to put Mesa's Waltz, to a different polarity. So unfortunately, it takes 1 extra polarity to get to this build. This build is very well rounded. You get a hell of a lot of bulk whenever you're using Quick Thinking plus Primed Flow and Mesa's 3. It makes you basically completely unkillable. Mesa's Waltz offers a few bonuses outside of just being able to walk around that I'm going to be going over that are fantastic. And this is a full efficiency build, so it is usable in ESO if you would like to take her there. The 155% strength is more than enough to kill anything that you're ever likely to run into, as long as your secondary build is good, which is the build on your regulators. So these have not changed very much. The main thing that has changed since I used to use a stat stick, namely the Synoid Gamma Core, is that instead of using one of the dual stat electric mods, or the dual stat electric mod, I'm now using anemic agility because Mesa's regulators have unlimited ammo, unlike the Synoid Gamma Core. This is a hell of a lot more bullets, basically. And the thing about Mesa is the more she shoots, the more focused she gets, which increases her damage significantly. And also, fire rate is still more damage and status, because that's just how fire rate works. You get more statuses per second when you shoot more bullets. It's incredibly good, specifically on the corrosive build. However, on the viral heat build, this is not changed at all, because you use primed heated charge, and also viral. So on this one, we don't use the anemic agility, though you could if you wanted to go pure viral. That's definitely viable, but I think it's better to just bulk up on your damage in general when you do it this way. But yeah, this still absolutely fucking obliterates. The only other thing of note is that I use Arcane Velocity, which does work with her regulators and procs, like, constantly. It's absolutely incredible, and it gives me another 80% fire rate, which is amazing. And then otherwise energized, just because Mesa is very energy hungry, so you want a way to patch up that weakness. But yeah, nothing has really changed in terms of the gameplay front. You're still using your 3 to give yourself 95% damage reduction to any projectile attack, which turns out is most of them. You're still using your 2 to give yourself a damage bonus and also ward off those pesky melee enemies. And you're still using your 4 to kill everything in sight. And your 1 is unfortunately still useless because it has capped damage. With that, this is the level 150 test, so let's just take care of it. So with Mesa's Waltz, you can move around while firing, and part of the benefit of moving around while firing is that, well, you can chase after enemies, for one. That's the obvious thing. But whenever you're moving around, you'll notice as I move more, the reticle on my regulators actually will start to widen as I move further. I don't really know why that happens, and it's not specifically listed that it does that on the mod, but it does. And another thing that Mesa's Waltz does is that whenever you hit 4, you draw them instantly and can fire instantaneously. If you're not using this augment, there's actually a tiny, tiny delay present. So this removes that entirely, which makes it act a lot like using one of the holstering mods. But yeah, you do, like, an absolutely tremendous amount of damage. Enemies can't deal with it. Like, these level 150 enemies are way beyond the scope of any enemies you're ever actually really likely to fight. Then they just get completely fucking decimated by this, because it's just so much damage that you're putting into them. In terms of supporting weapons that Mesa wants, she wants something that fires fast to deal with nullifiers, and also she would very much like an energy effect. So the Synoid Gamma Core still remains absolutely incredible for her, because this thing fucking hates nullifiers and can give her a burst of energy when it's needed. Turns out the Super Vandal with its augment also falls under that category, if you would. So the Super Vandal and the Synoid Gamma Core are incredibly good picks for her. It's worth noting that you can go without a melee weapon on Mesa to give her more HP, but that's not really usually necessary, and I like to have a box opener with me. So yeah, that is a short revisit to Mesa. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you tomorrow.